Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. A Jamaican-born American mixed martial artist created history on Saturday, March 6 at the Apex Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Aljamain Sterling was adjudged the winner of his clash with Russia's Petr Yan to become the UFC's new bantamweight champion. Yan was actually disqualified for striking with an illegal knee. The Funkmaster joins us now. Welcome, Aljamain.
How you doing?
How are you doing physically? What's the latest update from your doctor?
Well, pretty much they just had me doing the concussion protocols and just taking my time day by day based on how I'm feeling. We did another baseline test Monday, 2 days after the fight, just to compare it to the test that I did 2 years ago, and some of the results were a little off. So they told me just make sure I'm just taking my time, no contact for 45 days, and from there, kind of just ease my way back into it based on how I'm feeling. So I can't do any sparring, anything like that, nothing crazy yet, and just making sure I'm not getting any vertigo or the spins or anything like that, or if I feel like foggy, dizzy, or anything like that.
How have you been dealing with all the social media hate that you've been receiving since being announced the winner?
I'll show you right here. This is how I've been handling it right here. Just like that. They gonna talk all they want. Rules are rules. I abided by all the rules and I did what I was supposed to do. I prepared myself as a champion. I got myself to this situation, which a lot of people haven't been able to do their entire career. So, I put a lot of hard work into this. Unfortunately, the fight went the way it did. I was starting to lose that fourth round and I was very, very tired, and people saw that visibly, and I never thought I'm just gonna keep trolling.
Definitely, Aljamain. So if you had to just, point out a couple of errors that you would rectify if you had a rematch, what would they be?
Well, eating the day of the fight, that's a big one for sure. And, I've had some issues with that before in the past, but usually I don't eat that much. But this time I fought much later in the evening. I normally fight around 5, 6. This time I fought at 8:30, and to go from 10:30 in the morning to not eating till 11:30 at night when I got home from the hospital, I think that was a big, big mistake. So that's one thing. And I could have probably, even with that adjustment, I could have probably taken my time a little bit more, but that's the way I train. I train to put on that pace, and I've done that for all 5 rounds. So when I show up to the fight night and I can't have that type of success, it's very, very frustrating as an athlete. So those are one of the things, taking my time, not spinning so much. I think I gave up a lot of positional stuff. The canvas was a little slippery. There were a couple of champions before that talked about this, but I didn't realize how bad it was. And Petr Yan, he slipped a couple times himself out there too. So I think a couple of those adjustments, and I think the fight's completely different. I mean, for me to perform like that on my worst day, I think I like where I stand. And if that's the best Petr Yan that he got to offer, I think when I'm 100%, he's going to be in some problems.
Funkmaster, congratulations, sir. You are the champion no matter what the trolls on social media say. They've never trained a day in their life and they've never sparred with anyone. Yeah, there you go. Tell me though, for those who have never seen you fight, how would you describe your tactical approach to your fights? What are your strengths?
I'm a very high-level grappler. BJJ black belt. I wrestled in college, became a 2-time college All-American. People say it was like a big moment, so maybe that got to me, but I felt like I visualized this so many times. Obviously, I didn't get the belt put on me the way I wanted it to in terms of the scenario and the sequences, but it is what it is. All I can do is just right the ship later on in my life and shut everybody up.
Yeah. I'm happy that you spoke about the strength of your ground game, because in my assessment of you, I think your ground game is the strongest part of your fight, and it's pretty good at this point in time. In terms of the UFC and well, in terms of MMA and where you are right now, I mean, what is your aspiration? Are you looking to be as big as the notorious Conor McGregor? Are you wanting to be like some of the legends of the game who have really taken UFC outside of being a niche sport to the mainstream? What is your end game?
Well, the end game is to provide a financial future for myself and my future family. We didn't really grow up with much. My dad had to do the things he had to do to provide for the families. I'm a family of 20 siblings. I got another newborn brother who's 3 months old now that I just found out about. So my dad's, he's still cranking. And to have some security when I'm all said and done, this is a sport that I got into it because I loved it. I wrestled, cut weight, we didn't get paid. Now, when I first had my first pro fight, I made $500. I thought I was the richest man in the world. You know, to be getting paid what I'm getting paid now, to do something I love, what else can be better than that? You know, so I don't really have the aspirations to be a Conor McGregor or anything like that. I just want to be able to parlay this into something else. So when it's all said and done, I can look back and say, I'm thankful that I made this choice. You know, I went to college. I made a choice to fight instead of using my college degree. And I think things have worked out for me, you know, so I'm blessed to be in this position today. So I just want to keep the good times rolling in with the people I love. And that's the most things you can pray for, you know, so I'm happy.
And Mr. Funkmaster, where in Jamaica were you born? When did you go, you leave the island to go to the USA?
No, I wasn't born there. My mom, my dad, my grandparents was born there. You know, so I'm a first generation Jamaican, you know, so the last time I was down there was 2017. I did a 2-week tour down there, did a pro bono seminars in a couple of different MMA gyms down there, just teaching and giving back to the youths and stuff like that. Just to share my knowledge with what I experienced being in the UFC and everything that I've learned. So that was fun. I'm in talks with somebody down there to try to get like a gym, kind of like a charitable thing set up so that we can get some of the Jamaican athletes down there, because there's so much good, talented people down there that I think could really make a splash in the sport, and they just need the opportunity, you know. So we can get some mat space down there, maybe a cage. We can really make some noise and bring Jamaican MMA to the next level.
You know, I must confess to you that when I started watching UFC, it was a reality show on TV. I never thought that it would have gotten big as this, and I never thought it would have gotten as big as this, as fast as it has. It really has ballooned under Dana White's leadership, and the figures who have come, the superstars of the game, Aljamain, are really what UFC is about. And so the final thing to ask you is, you've spoken about your dreams and aspirations. You want to put food on the table. You want the financial security. With this, with your status now as champion, I know you've spoken about a rematch, but beyond the Petr Yan, who else are you taking him at fighting? Which new horizon do you want to conquer where that is concerned?
For fights, you know, I want the biggest fights. I want to prove that I can be the best guy in the world. I want to fight the best guys in the world while they're in their prime. Not like some other people that wait to the end and fight these other guys at the end of their career. I want to fight the best of the best. I want people to know that I was never afraid to step in there with anybody. I got one of the most wins in this UFC bantamweight division, so that alone is already historic for me. So my name's already cemented in the history books, but I want to keep pushing that envelope, keep going further, you know. So maybe a TJ Dillashaw, I know he cheated, did some EPO and maybe some potential other stuff, but he's coming back now. Maybe a rematch with Corey Sandhagen. I choked him out in the first like minute and a half of the fight. And now he's red hot. He's fighting TJ Dillashaw next, and the winner of that might be getting the next title shot. So one of those two guys, either Henry Cejudo coming back from retirement, the options are limited, and maybe possibly going up to 145. You know, I'm getting older, and if anything, I just want to keep dream chasing and keep pushing for bigger and better things. You know, I just want to keep building on my legacy and what I've been able to build thus far.
Excellent. Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling, all the best to you. You're a champion. And yeah, people can be champion trolls. You'll be the UFC bantamweight champion.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Bless up.
All the best. Yeah, the man has Jamaica in his roots. See, as I was saying to him, every time I talk about the UFC and mixed martial arts, I remember when this thing was a reality show, like an hour per week. And I used to watch and I used to say, well, these guys are crazy. This thing is crazy. And it steadily grew till it's now a multi-billion-dollar industry. I can't believe that in about 15 years, the UFC is now what it is, making millionaires out of some people, making very well-off persons out of others, and making champions out of so many more.
Definitely. And you know what I love about Aljamain the most is the fact that, you know, despite he wasn't even born here, you know, he recognizes his roots and he wants to give back to Jamaica using, of course, this platform.
Yeah, you know, Aljamain is a real success story. I was looking at his profile, and he has, as he mentioned, there 20 siblings, and he has a lot of brothers who actually didn't keep the straight and narrow, and you know, it was a tough childhood for him. So for him to remain focused, get a college degree, and pursue the fight game to the success that he has had, I think kudos to him for sure.